Well, hello everybody. Hello Rebecca. Hello Michelle. Kathy A. Nice to see everybody this evening. Angela, how are you doing tonight?
Really good.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. So, Rebecca, I have not unloaded my car yet. I got up to Indy today. We're outside Indy. So once I unload my car, I will message you. She sent me a banner and stuff. I'm so excited. I can't wait for it. And so, yeah, I'm really stoked. So how have you been, Angela?
Oh, I've been busy. I was doing a psychic fair over the weekend at the old Holding Jail in Holding, Ohio. It's on the border of Ohio and Indiana. And we're a large windmill farm. And the town of Holding is so small, everything closes up at 2 o'clock on Fridays in the town. It was great. It was a great experience, and there was quite a bit of paranormal activity at the jail that was just spectacular. It was caught on camera. For example, the spirit of a child and mother, uh, or a woman uh, walking through the basement that you can see through, and that was
Yeah,
caught.
that's interesting. That's
We
interesting.
also caught on camera. There's a woman there, one of the other vendors. Because I'm doing the psychic fair, we're staying there overnight, and she's a dream walker, so she leaves her body at night. And they actually caught on camera this bright white orb coming out of her chest and leaving her body.
Oh, wow. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. So, yeah, so somebody's talking about the Florida doctors like to close early. Yeah. Welcome, Greg. Yeah, so we were in New Orleans. We did some paranormal investigation down there, did some filming with one of the Ghost Brothers, and that was interesting. And paranormal, New Orleans Paranormal Group with Jennifer Talley and Chris Talley. That was really interesting. Hello, Anna D. Hello. And then we went from there to Florida to do some UFO UAP, and we met a high official. We'll say military person. I won't say what branch, and they were talking about all the UFOs and UAPs. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, flying over the beaches. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He said, not only that, he was like, we're also having UAVs. And ladies and gentlemen, UAVs, just like, oh, wow. And so that's so cool to catch an orb on camera. Hey, Liana. And UAVs are drones, ladies and gentlemen, that are infiltrating the military bases. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, they're like 10 to 14 at a time going through and around these military bases, and especially around Florida and other sites. Greg's like, Air Force. I ain't saying where or who I talked to, not on camera. And I'm like, why don't you shoot them down? And this high ranking official said, we're told not to. I'm like, so ladies and gentlemen, UAVs, if you don't know, drones, they have a actual electronic signature. If you don't know this, whether they're commercials or not. So when these things fly around airports or not, they know what brand, what manufacturer, what serial number, and who made them. And these are no signatures at all. So I'm like, okay, so you got stuff flying around. You're not going to zap them because we can zap them, right? We can, what's that little military pulse, or we can EMP thing,
EMP, or
right?
electronic pulse. There is a
Right,
type of warfare where you
knock
can
them
also have
down.
electronics.
And it's right. So they were like, well, what happens if they're not from China or Russia? And I'm like, are you worried they're from outer space? They wouldn't answer that. And we're off camera. And I'm like, so can you tell me that just between us? And they're like, we were told not to knock them out. And I'm like, that is crazy. Elon must be watching the girls on the beach.
It's interesting because there is a channel that I follow, and he talked about the central command for the Middle Eastern military U.S. operations in the Middle East is located in Florida. And that there's a lot of drone activity around those bases, of course, because Iran and Israel, they have been at each other and also attacking Lebanon recently, sustained attacks. And of course, our military is probably supporting Israel. So I'm sure there's some interested parties that would like to.
Wow. Let me tell you, I was outside and I heard, and I was like, what in the hell is that? They're like, look over there and see what's circling. It was the gunships. And I'm like, no way. They're like, yeah, they got a big old military base right there. And that's where they fired the gunships. And they circle. These are the ones that we see over in the Middle East and around the world that practice. And man, and you would hear them fire the 120s and and you would hear it hit the ground, and it was just like it was crazy. And everybody I was around with, they were like, that is why we have freedom. And being that close to those gunships up in the air, and because I mean, you would hear it, go off, boom, 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 and you would hear it hit the ground within seconds, boom, 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 and it was just big explosions, and that tells you how close I was. And but it was pretty wild. I was just like fascinated, and this went like almost throughout the whole night. But to find out some of the firsthand information, because I mean, we read about it, about the UAVs and drones infiltrating military bases, but to talk to somebody with some rank, I was very impressed. And they were like, they made me. I couldn't have my cell phone. I couldn't have no cameras, no equipment. And they pretty much spoke freely. And I wish I could recite some things. And I was just like, I'm like, man, you're all crazy. I mean, you at least got to knock at least a couple of them out of the sky to see who the hell they belong to. But anyways, go figure. So,
my understanding, they put out that they don't shoot these down because they were afraid with those high-grade military weapons that they might hit civilian.
But they're flying over the bases. I mean, they can zap them, right? And what's weird is we was on Navarre Beach, and I was taking a bunch of stills across the sky. Mm-hmm. And when we got back, I was looking at them, and we caught stuff that we can't explain. And I don't know. We're gonna have to do a show on it. But they're streaks, like something shooting across, and they're not shooting stars because there's multiple objects in this. And you can't see what it is. You can't say it's a flying disc. You can't say it's a triangle. You can't say but they're not shooting stars. And I only caught like 2 pictures out of probably like 50 we took in this one short span. But yeah, definitely. Rebecca, not only are we going to do a show on it, Bill Howard is going to be a part of it because he's got some inside scoop too on these UAVs. But then I also got to get with Greg because he's got some stuff going on. I didn't get it with Greg. He was in New Orleans too, but we didn't get to meet up. But it's just fascinating. And then we were about 10 minutes from the beach, and dummy me, not holding a camera, I look up. I'm like, wow, what is that? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And it got real bright, and like it went like. And it went straight up. And I'm like, And they're like, what was it? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So everybody's getting their satellite trackers out and everything else. They're like, there's nothing there. I'm like, well, yeah, it's gone. it went straight up. I didn't even see it. I don't know what it was. And you're like, you're holding a camera. I'm like, I was like, just stop it. I know, right? But anyways, Rebecca, you may have an opinion what they are. And I'll show the pictures when Bill comes on, because somebody may say what they are, and that's fine. Because everybody had satellite trackers, the airplane trackers, and because if it was a military airplane with the lights on or off, they would still show up. So because they can't turn off the transponder, they can turn off their lights, They can't turn off the transponders. So
There's the military will, and though there have been a few planes, like government planes, that can turn off their transponder if they're about to attack or they are transporting a government official. They
right,
will sometimes turn off their transponders, especially if it's like in the Middle East. Recently, they had an official. There was a plane in the Middle East, and that plane that was carrying the official, the ambassador, had turned off his transponder as soon as he got over the line
right.
for Iran, because you don't want to have a target out there if you're carrying an official, on a diplomatic mission. So they will sometimes turn off their transponders.
Yeah, it was very fascinating, and it was. I love the beach, and we went, and people were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." They're like, "What's all this equipment?" And it was cute because this one girl come up. Well, she wasn't a girl; she was a young woman, and she's like, "Can I take your all's picture?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I started pulling out cameras, and she was like, "My God!" And so she ended up taking some pictures of us, and we took some pictures of her, and she was real fascinated. And when she got the picture, she was like astonished. And she talked to us for a while, and we told her what we were doing. We was trying to keep it on the down low because we had some special spots on the beaches where nobody was at, because we didn't want to draw attention to what we were doing and have a bunch of watchers and people to bug us. Which I don't mind if they want to hang out and watch, but people with lights and talking, especially when you're trying to film. But no, it was great. The weather was great down there. I can't complain. And then we come back up to Indy, and I just got notified. Check this out, right? Just right before we went on the air, they're like, "Hey, the neighbors having some activity, and they know who you are because they see you and watch your show. They
Mhm.
want to know if you got some EMF detectors they can borrow and a cross." And I'm like, why do they need a cross? And then they're like, they're having some activity. I'm like, "What kind of activity?" They're like, "The stuff's flying off the shelves and pictures are being turned upside down." I'm like, "Are we going to be able to come over there and film?" And I'm like, "Are we getting punked, or is this really being for real?" Uh, and she's like, "No, they're having some issues because somebody passed away in the house. They think it's a family member." And I said, "Well, talk to them and tell them to go to the light." So I know, Greg, right? I'm sorry. I got a new camera, and I got another new camera, and I'm like having fun with it. And no, the dolls. Don't even talk about the dolls, because I went back to the studio today to grab some clothes for some more filming we're going to do up here in Indy. And I could swear that the dolls up here moved from here to here, and I was like, "Are y'all like playing a joke on me? Are y'all like switching?" And I was looking to see if I took a picture before I left, and because that lady in New Orleans, when I went to her shop, she had a bunch of dolls that were, some of the dolls was 300 years old. And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Do you sell these?" She's like, "No, but you can adopt one." And I'm like, "Adopt?" And I'm like, "I don't know about adopt, but yeah, but I'm good." But so I told Mary, it's like, "Yes, I got a couple of EMFs, I said, give them one and see what happens." And I was like, "Also, see if we come over and do a walkthrough or something. Let me bring some equipment." But we don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well,
But
and just when you talk about haunted dolls, I bring my haunted bear to one of these events, in my teddy bear, and he can interact. He's talked out loud. He can move small objects.
no,
He
hell
has,
no, hell no. Mm-mm.
and he's very friendly. He's like a little boy, and he likes fun. So I brought him to the psychic fair and one of the haunted jail, and then one of the vendors heard him talking. He was just saying hi, hello, and in his little childlike voice, and then
Does it have a voice box in it where it
no,
talks?
no, there's no electronics whatsoever. That little bear has no
Oh,
electronics.
that damn bear be wetter than a damn. I can't say it on the air, but it'll be wet. I'll be at with holy water.
No, it has. Well, he's a tulpa, so really he's an entity that I created when I was like 4 or 5 years old on my psychic abilities. So he's really me in a
I
sense.
travel with holy water.
So do I.
I brought a gallon of holy water with me. I brought, you wouldn't believe, the beads, not beads from New Orleans, so don't even think about it, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah,
You should meet. I think you would change your mind if you met him because he actually helped a little girl out and he's helped people out. He gives them hugs. If you send love to him, he will send love back and he will give you a big hug. And people feel like they feel that love coming off of him, and he feels like it's his job to make people
you
feel.
sleep with the damn thing?
He's a loving little bear.
Oh,
Love.
God.
Come on. I mean,
All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Yeah, just what we need. Grizzly just said he'll dash you with holy water. You ain't lying. Look, if y'all don't remember that one doll that blinked on the air and I freaked out about lost my cookies, and you all thought I was playing hocus pocus, and everybody was like, oh, no, it did not. And everybody jumped off and rewound it. And like, oh, hell yeah, it did blink. And that doll had no blinky eyes. That doll had fixed eyes. And it damn winked on. I held it up to the camera, and it damn thing winked. It winked. And oh, hell no.
My teddy bear has winked.
No, I'm good.
He's winked.
Hey, Joey.
He even radiates body heat if you put a thermal imaging on him. He radiates body heat in the center, and he doesn't have any electronics.
There's something in it. You need to release it. Send it to the
light.
It's
me. It's me. It's me as my little girl self who needed that topa. I created a topa, a entity out of my own psychic abilities, what they call a topa. And
the topa, my grits mail. Joey, I did lose it because everybody on the show thought I was pulling a prank. I'm like, I ain't about no prank. The damn thing winked. Everybody's like, oh, Grizzly, and everybody jumped off. And they're like, it did wink.
One of these days, you got to let me bring the teddy bear on the show, show you the teddy bear. The energy that he gives off is very positive. He's very positive. It's very happy.
So somebody asked me down in New Orleans, why do dolls are haunted? And the simple question, the answer to that is that spirit, right, when somebody passes, or an entity that has not been in a body or a vessel, can use that. Most of the time it's somebody that's passed from the past, can replicate and use that as a vessel, right? Yes. And it's wild because they resonate from that, and especially if you think about the old dolls, what were they made from? Kids' clothing, kids' hair, right? Personal belongings. It wasn't like it is today where everything's synthetic and it's made from mass fabric. I mean, back then, everything was handmade.
Plus people use those dolls to comfort them from the loss of their children, right?
That
so they would have a lock of hair from their child that had passed and incorporated into the doll so that they would have that comfort from the loss of their child. Anna D says she wants to see the bear.
Well, go ahead and bring it out. I watch a lot of horror movies, ladies and gentlemen, and I've seen what happens when kids pass and people make the dolls into their children. They come back and they whack the whole damn family. Everybody gets murdered. It don't end up good for nobody. I know how this ends up. So, Angela, a visit from your bear will give us some insight on Grizzly's dolls and what motivates them. Oh my gosh! So there for a while, I did collect dolls, and I had to stop because I would shop in antique stores, and I was taking devices, electronics, EMFs, and other utensils to fix. Oh, I did not get a good vibe from that. Even from the eye. Who did the eyes? Why would the eyes have to be red? Why do the eyes have to be red? How come they couldn't be green or something? Look, that doll freaks me out, though. See, I'm not the only one that said that.
This is the teddy bear.
I'm going to have nightmares. Let me make you big. Get that up. Look at that.
You got nightmares.
Professor said, oh, hell no. And
he's cute. See, Anna D says he's cute. See, and he puts up a cute energy, and he loves people. He loves.
He's great. Who made the doll? Why red
I
eyes?
don't know who made him. I just know my Aunt Loretta, who has passed on. She got this for me when I was about 4 years old.
Oh my gosh. Teddy with red eyes. That I mean, hell, they might as well buy you a damn Chucky doll.
Oh, come on. He's sad. Don't make him sad. He's a happy there. He
See,
calls
look,
himself.
little Twisted said my cat just took off. Bah.
Oh,
So Rebecca says, I heard that the dolls were made with empty heads so an entity could inhabit it. Rebecca, that is actually something that was said back into the early 1800s, I think. Don't quote me. Is that's why some of the dolls' heads were empty, that they thought that the children's spirits would come back in there, and also that past family members would come back and visit them. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. Joey, it ain't funny. Oh, he's laughing at Twisted. Okay. So, yes. So, and then you got the Island of Dolls that Zach Bagans visit. Remember that?
yeah. I have another one here with a woman attached to this
Oh my
company. She's a
God!
wonderful
Why are you torturing me?
woman. She's beautiful. The vessel that is very beautiful. It's a beautiful Victorian dress with a parasol and long hair, and looks amazing. And she's a stunning woman from in 1979 or so. She was about 20.
Look. All right. So now we're gonna wait a minute here.
We do our readings.
So settings. I gotta take this virtual background off so you can see what I'm getting ready to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta go back and read this, okay? So this is a nighttime prayer. See, bedtime, nighttime prayer. It says, and place this card with light and will strike it. The cross will quickly absorb enough light to make it glow. Well, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not turning off the lights now. It says, "I'm the good shepherd and know my sheep. I'm known of mine." That's John 10:14. It says, "I am the good shepherd and know my sheep, and I am known of mine." So that is a bedtime prayer reminder. And I just don't feel good. I just don't feel good. And let's see here, Rebecca, if you're in Florida, Angela will take your bear for a teddy bear pet. Really?
He would love that. He would love that.
Oh my gosh.
He would love that. He loves fun. He loves to play.
You all kill me. I
He
mean,
likes to,
look,
he
the
likes to
only
steal
thing
his
I'm
rug.
saying is you got to take care of the dolls because you don't know. And I tell people, buy an EMF detector. You get the cheap ones. Joey, it's not funny. You can get the cheap ones for like 15, 16 bucks, and if you're going to buy anything in an antique store, take pictures of it, call Kelly Joe, and move it with the EMF detector to make sure there's nothing in there. So, and always tell whatever is attached to it, it cannot come home with you. That's what I do. So, yes. See, Rebecca says, I have an EMF detector. And Little Twisted said, no, I have no dolls. Somebody made me mad last year, and I was like, I'm going to get your address, and I am going to mail you some dolls. And Nellie Rush says, hello. Can I please have a birthday week reading? And thank you and love you. Yeah, Natalie, welcome to the show. Nice to have you. If you haven't subscribed and liked and follow us, please hit it. It's free. And make sure everybody hit the hearts. It helps the algorithm. All right, Natalie, we'll let Angela start with you. There you go, Angela.
All right. So the first room that I have for you, this is Urus. This is the drizzling rain and also iron. So it also represents strength. It feels like this rune is telling me healing needing to take place. Healing needs to take place, and that you're recovering. It's like you're in the recovering phase of this healing. It's like something has happened that it feels like it's health related, and that you're recovering, and that you're getting stronger again. The next rune I have is Tiwaz. So Tiwaz is the rune of victory. It's also promise. It's oath keeping, and I feel victory. I feel like you're going to have this sense of, yes, I've overcome. I've gotten through this. I have so much more to look forward now that this issue is out of my life, and it feels like it's something fairly recent. It feels like maybe it's been a health issue, and now it's going away, and now you're healing, and now you have this victory. Now you can move on. The next rune I have for you, this rune is showing blank, so let me pull another rune, because that's a blank rune. We'll just have to get another one. So this rune is Sowilo. Sowilo is success. It's a ray of sun. It's also the lightning bolt. I'm getting off of here like this inspiration. I'm just like feeling like a breath of fresh air, like you've got a great new start, is what you're going to be feeling like. A great new start, like a fresh start, and just open horizons in front of you.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And Joey says his Bigfoot that he got from the show hangs out with him in his front seat with the seatbelt. Yeah. So all my Bigfoot and all my animals that are sold on the website are blessed. Yes, with holy water and a prayer said over them. So absolutely. So well, that was a nice reading. Hopefully you enjoyed that there. And hopefully, Natalie, you stick around and come back from time to time. We have many different shows on our network. So, yeah. Next up is Anna D. Anna D, like to have a reading?
Okay, so the first rune I have for Anna, this is algae. This is the rune of protection, sanctuary, and I feel pressure on my head. It feels like there's so much going on, like so much pressure that there's a need for sanctuary, that you're seeking it. But I'm being told by this rune you can actually build this sanctuary within yourself. Just take a deep breath, and this rune is telling me take that deep breath and just imagine where you want to be, whatever is, tell yourself, I want my sanctuary to manifest now, and that sanctuary will manifest. You'll get a vision of it in your head, and you'll just feel at peace. And I just feel like it's a special room for you. And I'm actually seeing like stones, actually runes on the wall. And then I see it's like a very relaxed setting. It looks almost like a spa, and I see candles, and I see water as well, a small fountain. Um, so that's going to come to you. It's already there in you. Just say, I want my sanctuary manifest now. And then take that deep breath, and you'll feel it, and then you're going to feel all of this distraction just fall away. So the next rune I have for you, this is Manos. This is also the Rainbow Bridge. This is human intellect, wisdom, humanity. Um, I'm getting a sense that that you're too wrapped up in people. It's like you're too wrapped up in doing too much for people, and that this has to be slowed down. It's if you need that boundary, you need to separate and just take that time for yourself and extricate yourself from that situation, to pull back from this business. Like there's too many demands, too much for too many people going on right now, and to pull back. So the next rune I got is Gabo. So Gabo is gift. This is also trust. What I sometimes get off this room is a lot of trust, but what I'm getting is gift. What I'm seeing when I see gift, it's not saying anything, but it's giving me an image of a beach and waves washing up on the shore. That's all it's giving me. It's just giving me that image of a beach and waves washing up on the shore. So I feel like you're going to be given this opportunity to have this peace, to get that rest, that separation, that like it could be a vacation, it could be some time off, that opportunity comes up, and you get to experience that peace and that rest that you're going to need, but it is a gift from the other side.
That's a very beautiful reading. And I tell you something, Anna D, this is a prayer that I say to help people for peace. I'm going to put it in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully they'll help out too. It says, Lord Jesus, we ask you to give us all around peace in our mind, body, soul, and spirit. We want you to heal, remove everything that is causing stress, grief, and sorrow in our lives. Please guide our path through life. Make our enemies be at peace with us. So I recommend that prayer to people that need peace and have peace with others. So hopefully that will give you some help. Maybe a gift of peace. Yes, absolutely. Natalie says, thank you. It is consistent with the energy I've been cultivating, that of victory, success, and relief. And it is correct as always. Natalie, don't ever be afraid to manifest things. And I'm a big, firm believer in manifestation. And for some reason, hallelujah, absolutely a little twisted. I'm a big, I'm a big prayer, a little twisted person. Angela, it's been a while since you've done mine, and last time you done mine, it has been correct as always. So let the runes and your energy fulfill me, and tell me what. Somebody just walked in and distracted me, but that's all right. Tell me what. Can I ask you something? Does this nose look Jewish?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Somebody said I had a Jewish nose, but anyways. All right, let that you're welcome, Joey. Yeah, if y'all ever need prayers, let me know. You can message me, and I have prayers for everything. And don't forget I'm an ordained minister. I let a little twisted person. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Angela. Read me.
Okay, so the first rune I have for you, this is Ansus. So Ansus is the rune of wisdom, particularly speaking wisdom and channeling wisdom. I'm getting off of this rune that there is a need for the focus on the wisdom that is channeled through you, to meditate, to relax, and ask for that wisdom to be channeled through you. So, and I'm being told, this is what the room's telling me, and don't take offense, but to be quiet, to quit talking and start listening to that wisdom, and just ask the wisdom to be spoken through you.
I'm sorry, I hit my mouse. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so
my wisdom.
Right, so to be quiet and then ask for the wisdom to be speaking through you. Okay, ask for the wisdom to speak through you. The next rune I got, this is Tiwa, so this is oath, promise, victory. And I feel like I'm getting off this rune. It feels like you hold yourself to an extremely high standard of like morality and judgment. Like you hold yourself really high standard than most people hold themselves to a high standard. And to give you background, this rune's reminding me of the background of this. So this was also Odin's spear. So if a warrior swore on the spear of Odin, then that warrior had to keep that oath regardless. And it's only the best of the best that could fulfill an oath made on Odin's spear.
Yeah, always spot on. So yeah.
Okay, so the next rune I got, this is Manas. It's the rune of human intellect, wisdom, the bridge between the spirit world and our world. And I'm getting the spirit world aspect, that rainbow bridge. And I feel like you're at the end of the bridge and looking across, but have not gone across yet. And spirit would like you to encourage you to come across so that you can start having those out-of-body experiences, or even dreams or visions where you're actually visiting the other side for more information and coming back, or even going there for healing and coming back. So they tell you, they're saying not ready yet, but it will come. It'll come. Just ask for it. Start asking for that to be opened up for you, to get help across that bridge, to be encouraged to go across it, have your spirit cross that, so that you can have experience more of the spirit realm, and also more of your gifts here, because I'm being told that more gifts are coming for it, and these are psychic gifts that are going to be coming for you. Okay.
Man, why are you always right? I've been holding back. And somebody told me today, when I told them I saw a ladder in the middle of the road, almost hit it. They're like, you know what that means, don't you? But anyways, yes. And yes, prospecting. Nancy would like a reading, please. Nancy would like a reading.
Okay. I'm going to use my very first rune set. It was moon runes. So, okay. this, Nancy. Drawing these for you.
What's your name?
So, Prospecting USA, Hunting America's Treasures wants a reading. Okay. So the first rune I got for you, this is Kenya's. This is the rune of light. And this is usually the rune of like intuition, like follow your intuition, follow the wisdom and darkness. And this was literally a torch. So the bottom of that would be what you'd be holding on to. The top would be covered by pine tar and lit. And it was an emergency torch that you would make if you were lost. And the feeling I'm getting off of this is that you know that something is not right, but you don't know what it is. You just know that something's not right. This rune is telling you to trust that. Something isn't right. But you don't have to know what it is to know what action to take. If it's something that's not right, you need to take appropriate action to extricate yourself from the situation. The next rune I got is Wunyo. So Wunyo is the weather vane. This is wind. And this rune is also peace, joy, new beginnings, happy endings. I'm getting off of this. It's like I'm feeling like this is you can kind of see that happy ending that you want, and it's just kind of out of reach, just barely out of reach. And you wonder, like, how can I take that final step into the place where I am happiness, into creating that life of peace that I want? It just feels like it's so close, but yet so far, is the impression I'm getting off of that. And the next rune I got is Sowilo. Sowilo is the rune of success. It is the lightning bolt, it's inspiration, it's epiphany. And the impression I'm getting off of this is that you have an epiphany that you are holding on too much of back here instead of looking forward to what's in front of you, and to leave this back here. It's something that you're consciously aware of, but there's some things that you're holding on to that you think you desperately need, but they actually no longer serve you and you don't need them anymore. And once you let that go, you will step into that happiness.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. Next one up is Mary, living purpose through God's word. All right. Stand by, Mary. Here she comes.
Hi. Okay. Living purpose through God's word. Let's go ahead and do a reading for you. And these are pink quartz. So pink quartz is supposed to be the...
I love the pink quartz.
Yes, a loving feeling. So the first rune, this rune's be coming up tonight. This is again Manos. This is wisdom, humanity. And I getting off this rune is telling me like you have this great compassion for all of humanity. It is almost like you. The closest thing I could compare you to would be like the Mother of God, where she's like the patron saint of all humanity. And it's like I feel that with you. It's like you have this infinite compassion for human beings, like the human race as a whole. And that's very special. That is a very great gift. The next rune I have for you is Land Goose. So Land Goose is the rune of, well, this is not Land Goose. I apologize. It's actually Ansus. So Ansus is wisdom, speaking wisdom in particular. And I'm feeling that you may have some health issues, but at the same time, you have such a deep connection to Source, the God, creator of the universe, when it comes because of this love for humanity. This is something that you both share, right? God loves humanity, you love humanity. And I'm being told that to ask for wisdom, ask for that wisdom of love to speak through you. Ask for the wisdom of love to speak through you. Okay, and then the next rune I have for you, this is Iwa. So this is a journey, and this is often a journey of, with two people. And what I'm seeing this is I'm getting a visual message where you are walking and there's a horse walking with you. You're not riding the horse, you're walking alongside the horse. Um, and I feel like the meaning of that is that um, you have on the other side in the spirit world you have support, right? You have support, and they're in the spirit world they're walking with you, and the horse is particularly representing a spirit guide for you, who is always walking with you and supporting you. This horse has an angelic quality to him, and this is a him walking with you, walking alongside, leading you on these journeys, and he's going through everything with you. But he says you're very emotional, and horses are very emotional, and that's why he's your spirit. So he can help you walk through those emotions when you go through this journey, because you're going to be experiencing a very strong emotions. And this horse will help. The horse can help you stay under control, even though you feel deeply, to keep pushing on, to keep going.
That is so awesome. Yes. Awesome. Next up, Liana. Liana, where you been, girl? Nice to have you. I always love her energy. She's so spunky.
Yeah, I see. It's funny that I get energy and I'll get images off of people when they come on, and for some reason I see a woman and I see little flames coming out of her head, like woo, It's like not just on fire. It's like her energy is just like woo, a mile today. Uh, you are welcome, living purpose through God's word. You are welcome from the reading. Okay, Liana King. So I'm going to use these runes. These runes are from a stone that is in India. So let me go ahead and get these runes out.
Now
First
you
rune.
got that song that I'm setting the world on fire and that's stuck in
Yeah,
my head.
yeah. This rune, this is Dega. So this is the rune of enlightenment, and it, it, what I'm feeling is like the height of energy, like the height of joy. It's like that's where you are at the time. Like a bright sunlight, height of joy. Like here I am. It's really positive energy, and it feels like you don't. Your energy like doesn't go down. It just stays at like this really high level. The next rune I have is Ing. So Ing was. So Ing was is the rune of the household, protection, firm boundaries. And I feel the strength. I actually feel like you have a very masculine strength that comes through. And it's like, I'm setting these boundaries. You're not getting past these boundaries. I'm set this up. And don't you ever dare cross these boundaries. I may be happy and high energy, but I can defend myself and protect myself and stand up for myself with the best of them. Okay, and then the next rune I have for Diana, I have Sowilo coming up here. Sowilo is success. It's also epiphany, and it's lightning, and it's also a ray of sun. I'm getting like there's something coming up for you that's gives you some sort of insight into yourself, and you're thinking, yeah, that's why I'm the way that I am. This is where this come from. And I feel like it's coming soon, like within 2 or 3 months. It's like you're going to be into this, and like I see you like moving around, and like and all of a sudden it hits you like, oh, this is why I do this. This is why this gives me so much joy. Um, I'm trying to figure out what it is and just holding on the room and seeing will give me some sort of insight. But it feels like something triggers something in your memory that you go back to that gives you that insight. And you're like, oh, that's why. Something from your past. And I'm trying to ascertain whether it's this life or a prior life. They're not going to tell me. But it feels like I'm really feeling like it's some sort of thread from a past life that you recognize that's coming through, and it just something that you're doing just brings up the memory, and you're like, oh, that's why. And
She
Leon,
says I am speechless. That is so true. Now I was talking, my mic was muted. I was like, "Oh, she's not even. She can't even hear me." So, but yeah, that is so true. And I put a special prayer up there. Somebody want me for a difficult situation. There it is. And so, absolutely, Angela, it's always been a pleasure. Spot on, like always. Any last words before we wrap up?
well, I would, I'm going to be at a few places. I am going to be at the
Really?
Holistic Health and Psychic Fair at the Lafayette Hotel in November in Marietta. And then that same week, on that Saturday, I will be at the Anchorage Mansion in Marietta, Ohio again. So please stay tuned for that and look at the dates. Now I'll post it on my page. But I've been led to, and I want to add this too, because I feel like I'm being led to say this. So earlier this week, I was led to say the Divine Mercy Chaplet. So any of you feel on your heart, if you feel in our heart to pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet, please do so. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic or Protestant. Anybody can pray it, and you can use a rosary to do it. And it's very simple. And on each large bead, you say, Almighty Father. And then on the smaller beads, you basically what you say on the large beads, Almighty Father, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I offer thee the body and blood, soul, and divinity of the dearly beloved Son, Jesus Christ, in atonement for the sins and in atonement for the sins of the whole world. For the sake, and then on each of the smaller beads, you say, for the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and the whole world as you go around. It only takes about 5 or 10 minutes to do once you get through with it. But it was something really strongly that I was encouraged to pray. And if you feel it on your heart, please pray that too, because the amount of energy and the mercy that comes pouring out, you feel it. You feel it.
So awesome. Yes, awesome. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we got an awesome lineup tomorrow. So make sure and tune in for that. And from coast to coast around the world, good night, everybody, and Godspeed. We'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.
See ya.